Alright, back to it. Just getting all my stuff in order here. Yeah, that feels better. Monitor was looking a little too squished. So always important to just kind of look around, make sure your stuff feels like really, you want to make it feel like kind of bottom heavy too. Make it feel like it's actually like rooted in something as well.
So is it alright having tries?
Yeah, I mean, like right now, I have a bunch of tries and stuff places. If my mesh move starts going weird, I'll have to go fix it. Triangles aren't a bad thing most of the time, right?
Maybe just for definition, I want good quads, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna animate stuff, obviously, like you need quads. Like this thing will turbo smooth really poorly, right? You're gonna get a lot of that weird stuff. So you will probably have to go through and clean up some of it, and you can see most of that's happening around this area. So I will probably either have to like connect this stuff out or do something to it. But for now, I just want to block stuff out, and then once I get to like, I try not to like turbo smooth and get into that detail too early, because if I start doing that now and I realize I gotta stretch this thing out, it's gonna be awful with like a turbo smooth on there. Um, so right now I'm just trying to get a good feel for all my stuff because I've already like moved around most of the stuff like 2-3 times. And once I'm happy with like how things are connecting, and I can start imagining like, okay, yeah, these things like right now maybe they're not very good, but I can kind of imagine what I might build around here to make sure that it like connects and stuff. So you want to kind of keep your stuff as simple as you can, and if that means having some tries earlier on, that's fine as long as it doesn't get like out of hand. Cool. What did I hit? Did I hit chamfer? Oh, I have other ones set in there. Should probably take the turbo smooth off of that thing because that looks hideous. Yeah, I'll worry about that other stuff later too. Same with this guy because I chamfered him. I think I got 2 edges there, verts. Just gotta weld that up. Yeah. So I still got to build this big thing on top of this, but I think I'll leave that for a little bit later. Now I'm going to build whatever shenanigans are happening back here, because he's a little left side heavy right now. I think I got to build something to kind of go in here as well. Okay, it's kind of cool maybe. Yeah, I might just get rid of that thing. I do kind of like that. Oh, maybe it cuts in there. All right, maybe I'll do that. Take these guys, turn off my constraints. No, that's stupid, I don't like that. Yeah, that's better. Alright, fix up this little guy. There we go. Didn't need much, just a little support there. So sometimes when you have things on an angle, like I extruded this thing and moved it around and it's on like a slight angle, but what's happening is it's not actually very flat, and I'm starting to get really weird kind of seams and bubbles and things like that. Like you start seeing here, there's like little edges, and that's just because all these faces aren't actually perfectly like flat. So what you can do is select all these guys.
These look like
Sorry?
no, I was going to say select by angle, but some of them are weird angles.
Yeah, yeah. So you can select everything that you want to be equally flat, and there's a make planar button here which will kind of try and flatten them out as best as it can. And then you might have to do that to your other plane as well, just because it might have warped it a little bit too. And usually that'll do a pretty good job of trying to flatten it out. I'm still getting one down here, but I think that's just because it needs a chamfer, a smoothing group there. But at least all these ones are gone. And that stuff's important. That stuff will actually show up in your normal maps when you bake it, because it is an angle change, so it won't look very metallic or you know, whatever, if it looks like it's a pillow or something like that. So yeah, make sure you go through and clean up some of that stuff. Make sure your stuff is nice and hard surfacey. Alright, I got this guy. So it goes up there. Might be able to put him right here. Alright, so we have this monitor here. I bring him to the angle that I want, that everything else is at. He's going to be, might be on a bigger angle later on, but I think his base I'll just want to keep at that angle. So he's going to be a smaller fella. Shrink him down a little bit right there. And then he's going to look like a old Game Boy Advanced. So I'm going to match up those angles there. And then, let's see, this guy goes down, in. What am I selecting? Oh, because I'm chamfering, that's why I picked the wrong thing. I wanted to connect. Add a couple edges here. Use the pinch tool, spread them out a little bit. And I'm going to take this and extrude it out. How does does this thing go? It kind of just goes straight in. I don't know if this thing will look any good, but I will give it a try. So he kind of looks like he's just kind of going in with all this stuff. So I might have to go and do some fancier modeling later on to mesh all this together. But for now, this will do. Did look better, a little bit bigger. We'll see. I don't know if I'll like that guy, but I'll leave him in there for now. Now this guy here, he might need a little bit of work. Alright, so what do we have over here? We got a monitor, and some really crazy looking shapes. Some pipes coming up over that. Alright. So I didn't make this guy at 45 at first, but maybe I will now. No, keep that straight. I don't know. That's starting to look a little weird. Yeah, let's undo that. I'm just going to keep this thing straight. Just put the monitor sideways. I don't know. I like this thing. Maybe I won't do this side monitor thing. I'm not a big fan. Yeah, let's do that. And then maybe I will get a couple of pipes, or at least this one pipe here. Clone that over as an object. Alright, I'll rotate this so it matches my angle. is here. Alright, connect that up in there. Just delete that there. What this would look like straight. That's kind of cool. Yeah, just keep that there. Break it up a little bit. Might do that back here too. Maybe this guy. No, that's weird. I think what I'll need to do is model something over top of that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Just do some chamfers here. Oops, too much. Yeah, that's ugly in there, but that's fine. Chamfer. Inset. Bring this guy down a little bit, maybe to here. Extrude this inside. Yeah. No. Yeah. Keep that there. I'll throw some pipes and other things over there eventually too. Maybe take this guy. I think he'll need to go down. Something like that, but I'll do that one later. It's not very important right now. Yeah. Okay, but I do want to do this big guy back here. I like that. Maybe on this side one here. Hmm. Let me take a look at some of these other ones. Yeah, I kind of dig these things, but like all these tubes and things sticking out. Okay, let's just start making something. Nice thing about doing high poly stuff like this, you don't really have to worry about intersecting stuff or hiding geometry. It doesn't really matter. It's pretty sweet. As long as it looks good. That's all that really matters at this point. Alright, so all of that, I think this thing will kind of kick out on an angle or something. Maybe I'll have something there. Alright, so I got this thing, and I'm assuming this thing's some sort of like power source or something. It's like side bit. I don't really know what it is. It's a bunch of shit connecting the monitors together. So you know what? Maybe this guy be better at like coming out of this angled bit here. Wonder if this gets pushed in. That guy definitely is going to need some work. And run. that, and then we'll probably need some sort of support. And then, yeah, this thing's got like some arms coming out. Yeah, it's gonna have some tubes, and then these guys are maybe some arms. Yeah, throw some pipes. Okay. And this thing is like some sort of monitor. Alright, what if the monitor is... I can make a cylinder here, I'll connect it down the center, and then delete that. Extrude these guys here. 45. And symmetry this guy, actually, X-form this guy first, just so my symmetry is nice and straight after. Symmetry that way, and then symmetry this way. Maybe not that way yet. If I symmetry that, and then I can extrude extrude this guy. I can weld these verts here together. We'll see. Hide unselected. Alright. Chamfer this guy. Connect all these. Move that down. Let me see if I like this guy here. Yeah, I guess he's not bad. Maybe. Extrude that on local normals. Align all these so they're nice and straight. Yeah, let's try into something at least a bit more interesting. Let's see if I do kind of slowly curl that back in there. Oh yeah, I guess it's changeover time. I didn't realize it was
20
20
minutes.
minutes. Hey guys, what's up? Just we're just finishing up, so just make yourself comfortable.
Here you go, Ben. Drop off Peter. Not. Table space, Ben. Gotta put it down.
Yeah, you take a look at what other people are modeling.
Yeah. That's good. 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 Yeah. Alex, that's hiring?
I wish.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're trying to make some 3D models to do let's say, see some of these models over bucks.
Alright. Got a cylinder in here.
Of course, that's fully modeled, fully textured, fully.
That's probably like.
That's fine.
Alright, let's get this guy in here. Guess I have to move that guy over later.
Really? Using models for shape and things.
I'll deal with that guy next week. So we'll probably leave off here. We'll continue blocking our stuff out next week. So if you guys want to wrap her up, I'll walk around still. If you guys have any last minute questions. But for next time we have our class, we won't have class next week because Anime Expo or whatever. Anime. Anyway. Anime North, that's it. If you guys want to finish your blockouts by the time we have next class, or at least get as close as you can to it, so we can still spend a bit of class just doing proportions and critiquing and stuff, and then we'll move on to modeling the hell out of them, adding all the high poly details.